Welcome into John Alexander Gymnasium for tonight's matchup between your Jacksonville Fighting Maidens and the visiting Mount Pleasant Lady Tigers. I'm Lee Traylor, class of 2005.
And I'm Toby Simpson, class of 2026.
Thank you very much for joining us on JISD Live on a night that we're also bringing you soccer action from the historic Tomato Bowl, as Ryan Travis is on the call there. So if you're interested in checking out Fighting Maiden Soccer, it's also available on JISD Live. And earlier tonight, right before the varsity match, I know that they recognized Lauren Wade for 150 career goals.
Wow.
Which is kind of an astonishing figure.
That's very wild.
Yes, so definitely worth checking out if you haven't yet. Maybe click over there and kind of get a feel for how that game is going. Speaking of Fighting Maiden action, your Fighting Maidens will be taking the court here in about 8 minutes against the Lady Tigers, and we really appreciate you joining us here on JISD Live. We're going to step away for 1 second. We'll be right back. Once again, thank you for joining us. We're just about ready to get started here at John Alexander Gymnasium. Once again, thank you for joining us on JISD Live. We're about to have kind of our pregame ceremonies, our national anthem, our starting lineups.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to John Alexander Gymnasium Women's Basketball doubleheader. Our first game this evening features the Lady Tigers of Mount Pleasant and York.
Well, it appears that we've had some microphone issues over at the PA desk. Bear with us as looks like head coach Cody Schmidt and PA announcer Don Couples trying to get that rectified. Ladies and gentlemen, game one of tonight's doubleheader features the Lady Tigers of Mount Pleasant and North Jacksonville Pregame. At this time, let's see tonight's starters. First one is the Lady Tigers of Mount Pleasant. Starting at guard, a 5'6" sophomore number 0, Kaya Oka. Starting at guard, a 5'7" freshman number 5, Leah Washington. Starting in the guard, 5'6" freshman number 11, Madison Abdul. Starting at forward, 5'11" junior number 15, Shannon Ives. And starting at guard, 5'9" junior number 25, Caitlin Brennan. The Lady Tigers are coached by Miss Crystal Jackson James. She's assisted by Joshua Medlock, Jessica Stanley, and Jasmine James. And now, get on your feet to be your five names in Jacksonville. Starting at guard, a 5'11" sophomore, number 0, Mercedes Allen. Starting at guard, a 6'2", number 3, Layla Jackson. Starting at guard, a 5'7", junior number 4, Caroline Holt. Starting at forward, a 5'9", junior number 23, Kiki Rocker. And starting at forward, a 5'9", senior number 30, a Miracle. Your back lady coach number Sherry Schmidt. She's assisted by Bianca Lacey and Brad Sanders Jr. All right, 8 minutes on the clock for this opening period of action between your Jacksonville Fighting Maidens and the visiting Mount Pleasant Lady Tigers. Once again, thank you for joining us. And we expect a great night of action for both the boys and girls basketball teams as we're bringing you a doubleheader here from John Alexander Gymnasium. Immediately after this game, your Jacksonville Fighting Indians will take on the Mount Pleasant Tigers.
You know, I've been hearing throughout the day, some of the students have been calling Mount Pleasant Mount Peasant.
Oh, that's a pretty good pun there. Pretty good pun. Here we go, getting ready for tip-off as Layla Johnson set to tip off for Jacksonville. And Mount Pleasant wins the tip quickly up the court and then knocked away by Johnson. So Mount Pleasant set to inbound. Looks like KK Brannon inbounding for the Lady Tigers. Good defense from Mercedes Allen. She gets it ahead to Alt. Alt tied up, keeps possession, and tied up again. A lot of pressure defense from Mount Pleasant. That shot up no good from Kiki Rogers, and the Lady Tigers bring it ahead. That was
An interesting series. I didn't know whether the ball was going to be stolen or if there was going to be a jump ball called, but that was great defense, and
more great defense from Jacksonville there as Kiki ends up with it on the rebound, and now Allen sends it over to Johnson. Johnson driving, puts it up, no good on the shot attempt, and Mount Pleasant out on the run. More good defense. Johnson with the steal, and she's trying to go coast to coast, gets it up to the lane, now sends it back to Alt. Open look at three, no good. And Elijah Washington trying to control it for the Lady Tigers, but out of bounds, and Jacksonville will take over. Kiki Rogers set to inbound, gets it to Alt, back to Kiki, and now Allen to Johnson. Allen up for three, no good. Rebound, Mount Pleasant, but stolen.
Oh, wow.
A Miracle Goodwin with it for Jacksonville and stolen back by Mount Pleasant. Good defense from Alt, but the Lady Tigers able to get it up the court and get it into the lane. Going to be called for a foul, but that shot blocked by Layla Johnson. That foul call goes against Mercedes Allen, I believe. It's going to be her first and Jacksonville's first team foul. First is up and no good. This is KK Brandon at the line for the Lady Tigers. Second is up and good.
Taking your score to a very strange 1-0.
The 1-0 lead for the Lady Tigers. Alt with it for Jacksonville. Good pass to Johnson, no good on the shot. Mount Pleasant brings it ahead.
Long pass. Shot is not good.
Allen going to be fouled, going for the rebound. See who they call that against. If they were Kaya Bolton gets called. There were multiple Lady Tigers in on that contact, but that call goes against Kaya Bolton. So Kiki Rogers set to inbound for Jacksonville. She gets it to Alt. Back to Rogers. Trying to get ahead to Johnson, but stolen by Mount Pleasant. And then knocked out of bounds by Jacksonville. So Mount Pleasant set to inbound. And KK Brandon inbounding for the Lady Tigers.
I'm getting this suspicious feeling that this is going to be a very defensive-heavy game.
Yeah, so far, both teams really active defensively, and a lot of deflections and a lot of steals.
And a lot of missed shots.
And a lot of missed shots. But some of that's just because there's been very little room to operate. There haven't been a ton of just wide open shots. There's been a lot of drives to the basket. That last one, relatively open, but even then, Caroline Alt closes quickly. Good defense on the jump shot, just like this corner shot. And again, both teams playing good defense to start this game.
Oh, wow.
Good defense there as Kiki Rogers gets the steal. Alt trying to dribble it out from the pressure. Defense can't do it.
That was probably the easiest shot of the night.
And then Maddie McCoo going to be fouled on the shot attempt. I think that's going to go against Alt. That'll be Caroline Alt's first.
The Maiden's second team foul in this quarter so far.
5:23 remaining in the first. Jacksonville with 2 team fouls. Also down by, as you mentioned, the odd score of 1-0.
You don't see that in basketball a lot.
You don't. That foul was not called a shooting foul.
That one will be, though.
And that's Shannon Hines driving to the basket, going to be fouled. I believe that's going to be on Layla Johnson.
Yeah, Jacksonville maybe in a little bit of foul trouble here.
3 team fouls. They called that on 23, not 3. Kiki Rogers. Apologize. First is up and good.
I know I'm starting to sound like a broken record every single time I come here, but just getting in a bonus this early into a quarter is just not that good.
Yeah, for sure. 3 team fouls, 5:19 remaining in the period. You got to be really careful to clean this up and quickly if you are Jacksonville. You definitely don't want to send a team into the bonus, especially when both teams have really struggled to find offense. You don't want Mount Pleasant to find it at the line. Caroline Alt with it for Jacksonville. Pressure defense from the Lady Tigers. She's able to get it ahead to Goodwin, and now Johnson has it blocked, but picked up by Allen, who's then fouled. I believe that's going to be on McCoo. Kiki Rogers inbounds to Alt. Alt trying to get it back to Rogers, but it's deflected. No, just sent out of bounds. At first, the first official said deflected, and now they're correcting that to out of bounds off of Jacksonville. But then 2 players tied up for Mount Pleasant. That ball goes out of bounds. Jacksonville set to take over. 4:59 remaining here in the first. Jacksonville down 2-0 to the Lady Tigers. Allen, this shot is up, no good. A Miracle Goodwin trying to save it, but then tries to save it inbounds, and then a Mount Pleasant player sends it back off of her while she was out of bounds, so Mount Pleasant ball.
For a second, I thought they said that was Jacksonville's ball. That's why I was doing the hand motions. I don't know why. I thought I saw an official point Jacksonville.
Shot is up, no good for Mount Pleasant, and then jump ball is the call.
Will be Maiden's ball.
So Jacksonville set to take over. Good defense there under the basket for Jacksonville. Kiki Rogers gets it into Caroline Alt, back to Rogers. Now back to Alt, gets it ahead to Johnson.
Mount Pleasant's having a really good time with this sort of full-court press defense.
Yeah, for sure. Jacksonville really struggling to know what to do with that kind of pressure that far deep in the court. We'll see if they can get it figured out as they are set to inbound, looking for Deasia Tilley.
Was it last week that the team they were playing had to do the full court press, and they just couldn't get it clicking? I think teams are finally starting to find the kryptonite of this team.
And that's definitely true of a lot of high school basketball teams. It's a hard thing to deal with when you have that kind of pressure all game long right in your face.
Yeah.
The question is, can you do that all game conditioning wise as the opposing team? So as KK Brandon's first is up and good, we'll see if Mount Pleasant can keep this up. They do have an advantage in terms of numbers on the bench. Second is good for Brandon. They've got 6 players on the bench, and Jacksonville's got 3. So we'll see how that comes into play with this full court press.
Seems to be doing good right now. Jacksonville having to cutting close to the time limit that they have for being in the backcourt for too long.
Caroline Alt with it for Jacksonville. Gets it past half court, picks up her dribble, and is tied up by Mount Pleasant. It's going to be a jump ball, and Mount Pleasant will take over on the alternating possession. We're going to get a couple of subs for Jacksonville as Kiesha Tilley comes in and Tashia Johnson. Mercedes Allen and Kiki Rogers getting a breather. Tilley on defense for Jacksonville. And able to get the steal. Gets it ahead.
Step back three.
Reed open from 3, but no good. Out of bounds. Mount Pleasant ball. 3:32 remaining in the opening period. Jacksonville 0 and Mount Pleasant 4. Mount Pleasant advancing it past half court. Good block from Layla Johnson, but a foul called. And KK Brannon slow to get up for Mount Pleasant.
Looks like we're going to get the trainer over here. Hopefully nothing serious.
Brannon able to make her way off of the court. It's great to see. And Shannon Hines at the line for Mount Pleasant. Checking in for Brannon, Melanie Morales for Mount Pleasant. So the officials get that corrected. Morales will step to the line as she subbed in for Brannon. First is up, no good. Second is up and good.
Takes your score to Lady Tigers 5-0 lead against the Jacksonville Maidens.
Jacksonville again struggling to get this past half court.
This defense is just
That's been suffocating so far.
Yes, that's a great word to describe it.
Definitely been full court pressure defense.
But they have to keep this up all game. And maybe they are conditioned well enough, but I find that very hard to.
Good shot from McCoo. Yeah, we'll see if they're able to keep this up. They do force a travel there from Kiesha Tilley.
I'd like to point out that was the first field goal of the night because every other score has been free throw.
From the line, yeah. So Mount Pleasant with a 7-0 lead against Jacksonville to start. This shot is up, no good. Rebound Johnson for the Maidens. Johnson fighting off some defense. And now Tilley got to get it past half court. She does. Gets it to Reed. Reed drives to the bucket, can't get it, but a Miracle Goodwin with
first
the
points.
putback. First points of the night for Jacksonville. This one goes out of bounds off Jacksonville, so Mount Pleasant gonna keep possession.
Tagging in for the Lady Tigers is number 10, and the Ladies is number 0, Mercedes Outlander, and number 4, Caroline Hall.
Mount Pleasant inbounds. Now loose ball. Caroline Alt able to collect it. Good defense from Morales. Ties it up. But Jacksonville ball on the alternating possession. This one deflected out of bounds by Elijah Washington. Layla Johnson gets it into China Reed. Able to get that one to fall.
Jacksonville starting to come back.
Yeah, even with all of the success that Mount Pleasant has had defensively, all of a sudden it's a one-possession game.
A little bit of a circus shot.
A little bit. All of a sudden it's a one-possession game under 2 minutes remaining here in this first period. Jacksonville with a couple of quick buckets after being held scoreless through much of this first period have made this a 3-point Mount Pleasant lead, and Jacksonville has the ball. Had the ball as a steal immediately
And
from Shannon Hines, and an and one opportunity is right.
A lot of free throws being called.
Yeah, it's been a physical game for both teams.
I believe that's 6 personal fouls in the first quarter alone. Or sorry, team fouls. Excuse me. Oh, never mind. It is 7. 6 or 7 team fouls. Oh, now it's 16, 17, 18. Okay. Now we have 1.
We'll get there eventually. We'll get it sorted out.
I hope so.
Jacksonville set to inbound. China Reed going to do that for the Maidens.
Fouls on number 11, Maddie McCoo, her second personal. First double team on 3. Tagging in for the Lady Tigers is number 10, Kyle Holden.
Reed inbounds this to Johnson. A lot of defense from the Lady Tigers. It's going to go out of bounds, and Jacksonville again set to inbound. Reed inbounding for the Maidens. She gets it to Alt. Alt with a little bit more room to operate, gets it past half court, and gets it to Johnson. Deflected and stolen by the Lady Tigers. And then laid in by KK Brandon. Out of bounds, Jacksonville will keep possession.
Tagging in for the Maidens is number 1, Keisha Tilly.
Layla Johnson set to get a breather for Jacksonville, and Keisha Tilly checking in. A Miracle Goodwin set to throw in for the Maidens. Trying to get it to Alt, but it's stolen.
You could even say intercepted.
It was intercepted. Great call out. Morales moving the ball around.
Mount Pleasant just passing the ball around, trying to get something. Great defense from these Maidens. And a steal. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that ball
Hey,
all over the place.
that's a stop. That's a stop.
That is a stop. Jacksonville inbounding. Tilly trying to get it back to Reed, but miscommunication. And Reed gets the rebound. Jacksonville lucky to get out of that with no harm. Reed all the way, coast to coast, lays it in.
That's one of those you just got to let it go out of bounds. Don't try and do anything because nothing's guaranteed.
Mount Pleasant with the ball. 3 is up, no good. Rebound Reed. Final closing seconds of the period, out of bounds. Layla Johnson checks back in, and China Reed has a seat. Layla Johnson set to inbound for Jacksonville. The clock did not run on that play, and so they eventually just kind of ran it off. Kind of an awkward sequence. Either way, that's the end of the opening period, and Jacksonville 6, Mount Pleasant 11. Take a step back and let you enjoy a performance from the Jacksonville High School cheerleaders. Start of the second period. Jacksonville down by 5 to the Lady Tigers. 11-6 is your score. And Mount Pleasant will start with the ball. As KK Brannon is back on the court and set to inbound. Good to see that she's not seriously injured after that scary contact play earlier.
Yeah, good to see her back. She was down for a little bit, but she was able to get back on her feet and walk back to the bench on her own power. That's good.
Jacksonville inbounding. Oh,
it is good. Mid-range jumper. Takes the lead down to a 1-possession game.
Timeout, Mount Pleasant.
30-second timeout, Mount Pleasant.
Mount Pleasant inbounding. Brannon bringing it ahead, going to be picked up by Tilly at half court. Now into the lane. moving the ball around now with it in the corner. That pass too high, out of bounds. Jacksonville set to take over. Holt with it. And more pressure defense from Mount Pleasant. Foul called against Caroline Alt. It's going to be her second personal. And first team foul for Jacksonville. Mount Pleasant with the inbound. Quickly moves it around. Morales with the ball. Now this three is up and good for KK Brannon.
A little bit of contact on that pass and that shot.
Yeah, a lot of contact, no calls the last few possessions. Mount Pleasant inbounding. Now three is up, no good. Rebound, Lady Tigers. Good defense from Alt.
Ooh!
And
have a maiden down, hit the ground hard.
Yeah, that was a really, really hard contact with the four for both players. That was, I think, Kaya Bolton and Mercedes Allen for Jacksonville. Reed with it for the Maidens. Takes it all the way and scores. Mount Pleasant brings it ahead.
Good defense from Alt. Ball goes out of bounds.
Mount Pleasant set to inbound in front of the Jacksonville bench. Your current score is Mount Pleasant 14, Jacksonville 10, 6:21 remaining here in the second period. Open three is up, no good for Brannon. And then Elijah Washington trying to save it for Mount Pleasant, can't do it, so Jacksonville set to inbound. Kiki Rogers inbounding for the Maidens, gets it to Alt. Alt trying to get it back to Rogers, but going to be called for the double dribble after she picked up her dribble and then stepped through it after being tied up. Brannon inbounds it. That three
great block
was sent into about the sixth row from Layla Johnson.
Great block from Layla Johnson. She's just been all over the place with these blocks.
She has great defense all night long from Layla Johnson. Now Mount Pleasant with it. Open three up, no good for Brannon. Offensive rebound from Shannon Hines and then deflected out of bounds by a Miracle Goodwin. Brannon set to inbound for the Lady Tigers.
Wide open shot, and is no good. Ball comes off for Lady Tigers defender. Will be maiden ball.
Kiki Rogers set to inbound for Jacksonville. Reed bringing it ahead, gets past half court, and called for the travel. Mount Pleasant bringing it ahead. Hines passes it off. Now Jacksonville ball, Johnson with it, but stolen by Mount Pleasant. And McCoo fouled on the shot attempt.
3 team fouls for the Maidens. Never mind, I guess I was wrong. That is 2.
First is up, no good. Second is up and good.
Did not listen to the cheerleaders on that one. She, in fact, did not miss it.
Quick turnover, and then block. Big block from Kiki Rogers, sending that one out of bounds.
A lot of blocks.
A lot of blocks.
Not just from Layla Johnson now.
Good pass. Kaya Bolton going to be fouled. Kiki Rogers called for the foul. Bolton's first is up and good. Tashia Johnson checks in for Jacksonville, and Kiki Rogers gets a breather. Second is up, no good. Rebound, Layla Johnson, but stolen by Bolton. Then open look at 3 is up, no good. Another
great pass. That was a great pass.
That was a great pass. I think that was Elijah Washington with the offensive rebound and the pass to Bolton.
I think the pass went through 3 Maiden defenders.
Bolton at the line for Mount Pleasant. First is up and good. Second is up, no good. Offensive rebound. Now this shot is up and good for Bolton.
Oh, it loses her dribble, but goes off a Lady Tiger defender. Will be Maiden's ball. This full court press is still getting to them.
Deflected out of bounds from Shannon Hines. Deep pass intended for China Reed, but stolen by Mount Pleasant.
Jump ball.
Timeout called.
Timeout, Jacksonville.
.416 remaining here in the first half. Jacksonville 10 and Mount Pleasant 19. Mount Pleasant inbounding. And I believe that was Elijah Washington who was fouled on the shot attempt. She'll head to the line.
And that is the Maiden's 5th team foul, which will be sending the Lady Tigers to a bonus. Or Lady Cats. Sorry, I just looked down at the roster and it said the name. I'm saying it all wrong.
I think it is the Lady Tigers.
I think either one will work, honestly. They both mean the same thing.
They do, but I think their jerseys say Lady Tigers.
I think the jerseys say Lady Tigers.
So
but the lists, that says Hallsville.
Yeah. You're looking at a Hallsville Lady Cats scratched out roster.
That makes more sense now.
Jacksonville with the ball, Alt with it out past the three-point line, drives in, and then deflected out of bounds. Jacksonville ball. Josiah Johnson inbounding. Gets it to Alt. Good catch from Caroline Alt and a good finish. Brings this back to a 7-point game, 19-12, 3:45 remaining here in the opening half.
Great block and rebound by Layla Johnson, carrying up the court. Shot is just barely off.
Out of bounds, Mount Pleasant ball. So with 3:22 remaining here in the second period, Jacksonville 12 and Mount Pleasant 19. Jacksonville was called for a foul. And since Mount Pleasant's in the bonus, Kaya Bolton set to shoot 2 shots from the line. First is up, no good. Kiki Rogers checks in for Jacksonville.
Second one is good.
Jacksonville inbounding. Tilley with it inside. Can't get the shot to go. Rebound Mount Pleasant. Bolton with it out on the run. Into the lane, but stolen. Tilley with it for Jacksonville. Trying to get it to Goodwin, and it gets out of bounds. Lady Tigers bringing it ahead. Open look at 3 for Bolton, no good. Kiki Rogers has it deflected.
A little bit of a flop. A little bit of a flop over on the other side.
Perhaps. You never know.
Would have made it was a flop. No, would have made LeBron proud.
Mount Pleasant bringing it ahead. Quickly up the court, into the lane. No good on the shot attempt, but offensive rebound for the Lady Tigers.
Three is good.
And that 3 from Shannon Hines is up and good. Long pass ahead, a Miracle Goodwin with it, trying to get it. Josiah Johnson can't do it, and Mount Pleasant lays it in at the other end. All of a sudden, it's a 25-12 game as Mount Pleasant really opened it up offensively here for these last few possessions. Jacksonville had kept this very close, especially considering the pressure defense that Mount Pleasant had played all game long and how effective it had been. But suddenly Mount Pleasant out with a 13-point lead after they've turned it on offensively.
Yeah, they're getting a little comfortable with this 13-point lead because I think you've noticed, I think they're going to more of a half-court. Nope, they're not. Yeah, they're going to more of a half-court press now instead of a full court.
Still effective. China Reed called for the foul. So Kennedy Jones heads to the line for Mount Pleasant. 1:15 remaining here in the second. Mount Pleasant 27 and Jacksonville 12. First is up and no good for Kennedy Jones.
Second one is good.
Is good as well. Or second one is good, rather. Reed with it for Jacksonville. Good pass.
And
good
one
finish.
bucket.
Good pass from China Reed, and then good finish through contact for Tashia Johnson. Jacksonville with an opportunity for a three-point play. And Tashia Johnson able to pay that off. Huge sequence there for Jacksonville to stop the bleeding. Good defense on the other end from a Miracle Goodwin.
Three is up and no good.
Good hustle from Reed for Jacksonville, but not able to keep it in bounds. Mount Pleasant inbounding. This three is up and good from Brannon.
Brannon hit that one from the college three. I mean, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, second one that she shot from distance. Kiki Rogers for three, trying to answer, can't do it. Tashia Johnson with the rebound and fouled on the putback attempt. So she'll head back to the line. That's Shannon Hines' first foul for the Lady Tigers. First is up and no good for Johnson.
Second one falls in with 26 seconds left in this first half. Great defense from a Miracle Goodwin. .2 seconds remaining.
That foul going to be against, I believe, Kiki Rogers. Haven't updated the scoreboard yet. Maybe it's Shannon Hines. Maybe, you know what? Ignore me. That was against Shannon Hines. I don't know what I'm talking about. Jacksonville with the ball, trying to get this pass in, but stolen by Mount Pleasant. Final seconds here of the first half.
Shot up is good, and that will be the first half, unless they put like 0.1 seconds left.
That'll be the end of the first half. And Jacksonville 16, Mount Pleasant 31. So Jacksonville had really kept this close through a period and a half, but then Mount Pleasant finding a lot of offense in the second half of that second period and really have kind of stretched this out to a 15-point lead.
Yeah, it was close for a little bit, but then they just wouldn't be able to. The maidens, excuse me, aren't able to able to answer to that full court press they got going on.
We're going to have a performance here at halftime. And we're back, set to start the third period. And Jacksonville down 31-16 to the Lady Tigers. We've switched over to our in-stadium automatic tracking camera. Not really sure how well this is going to do. We're going to give it a shot and see how it goes. Caroline Alt with it for Jacksonville. Now Layla Johnson back to Alt. Alt picks up her dribble, gets it to Kiki Rogers. Back to Alt in the lane, puts it up through traffic and gets it to fall. Great looking play, great finish from Caroline Alt. 31-17, 7 minutes remaining here in the third.
Great job to get the first few points of the game because they were on that drought from the beginning to the end. Ball put up, gets rebounded by Lady Tigers, drives in, tries to put up another one. Get the and one bucket from Shannon Hines. She'll go to the line. And one bucket is no good. Ball goes off of Layla Johnson and is Lady Tiger ball. Deflection there by Layla Johnson, gets the ball out, recovered by Lady Tigers, and that is a foul on number 1, Kaija Tilly. That'll be the second team foul for the Maidens. Layup is good, brings the Lady Tigers to a 35-17. Excuse me, 34.
Tilly gets it off to Johnson, who lays it in. Good looking pass from Kiesia Tilly and good finish from Tashia Johnson. 36-17. That seems like they gave that point to the wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, here we go. Hold on. Here we go.
We're making changes.
We're trying. We're trying.
Layla Johnson with it for Jacksonville, knocked out of bounds. That's going to be knocked out by Elijah Washington. Now to getting a discussion at the scorer's table. Caroline Alt with it for Jacksonville, gets it to Tilly. Tilly gets a screen from Rogers. Now it gets it to Johnson. Johnson dribbles out to the three-point line. Lots of defense from the Lady Tigers. Tilly to Alt to Rogers. Rogers' three is up, no good. Rebound, Layla Johnson.
Caroline Alt taking it to the top, setting the offense up. Driving in, shoots the three, and it is no good.
Mount Pleasant set to inbound. 5:09 remaining here in the third. 35-20 is your score. The Lady Tigers out in front of the Maidens. Hines with it for Mount Pleasant. Pass sent over to Bolton. and deflected out of bounds by Caroline Alt. Good defense from Alt. 4:54 remaining here in the third.
Pass it in, gets deflected. Goes out of bounds. Will be lady. Oh, it will be maiden ball. Referees at first said Lady Tiger, but I guess they changed their minds.
Good pass from Kiki Rogers. Kind of threading the needle half-court pass.
That looked kind of like a quarterback throw. The way that
it really did.
Looked like a football play. Even the way that they jumped up to catch the ball.
Find the space and hit the receiver. This pass to Johnson. Johnson gets this off to Tashia Johnson, but can't finish at the bucket. Deflected out of bounds off Mount Pleasant, so Jacksonville will keep possession.
Great pass there, just unable to get it up.
Caroline Alt steps into a three.
No good.
Good defense from Tilly on the chase down. Deflected out of bounds by Alt. 35-20 is your score. 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining here in the third. This shot is up, no good. And then Shannon Hines with it for Mount Pleasant into the lane. Puts it up and she'll be fouled.
You know, the Maidens are trying to make a comeback here. It was, what, 30?
It was 31-16 at half.
16, and now they got 4 points, cutting it down to a 15-point lead.
This shot is up, no good. Toby, I hate to break it to you, but a 31-16 lead, also 15 points.
Again, sorry, I did not go to math today.
Second is up and good, so now a 16-point lead. This pass sent ahead to Tilly. Tilly trying to get it back to Alt, but great defense from Brannon. Brannon into the lane, step through, puts it up, no good. Rebound Hines almost gets it to fall, but she will head to the line. That's Jacksonville's 4th team foul.
That was a great Euro step. I think that was one James Harden would have been proud of.
Say it again.
I think that was a Euro James Harden would have been proud of.
It was a great looking step through. Can't hit the first shot.
You know what? They got fouled. They got a chance to go to the line.
They did. And Hines, second is up and good. 1 of 2 from the line. Jacksonville set to inbound.
I was going to say ball don't lie, but then she made it. So.
Yeah, you know.
That's how it be sometimes.
Shia Johnson with it for Jacksonville, trying to get it back to Tilly. Tilly fighting for it. Really great effort from both Kiesha Tilly and Shannon Hines. Alt going to be fouled, trying to get the ball to Tilly. Alt bringing it ahead for Jacksonville. Gets it to Tilly. Tilly trying to get this one into the lane, but stolen. The Miracle Goodwin going to be fouled on the rebound. That foul is going to be Kaya Bolton.
Not a jump ball called.
Yeah, really physical play. No call. As
The layup
Brandon
is good.
lays it in at the other end. 2:40 remaining here in the third. Jacksonville 20 and Mount Pleasant 42. Reed into the lane, loses the handle, out of bounds.
A little bit of contact on that one.
Good extra pass. Now Bolton can't lay it in. Second chance points from Maddie McCoo. Make this a 44-20 lead at the 2-minute mark here in the third period. Reed pulls up from 3 off the top of the backboard. Brannon bringing it ahead for the Lady Tigers. Good defense from Reed with the steal, and she is out and on the run. Cuts back towards the basket, lays it up, doesn't get it to fall. Good defense from Jacksonville again. Alt with it.
Puts it up. A lot of contact. A lot of contact.
A lot of contact for no calls. They are, I mean, letting them play doesn't seem to really cover it. Like,
yeah, I mean, when you look at it, Jacksonville has had 5+ fouls in every quarter, except for this one so far. So I don't.
They have 4 in this one.
I don't think it's just letting them play. I
they
think
are
a little favorable to one side.
Jump ball called. Mount Pleasant will keep possession. Inbound, now 3 is up, off iron, no good. Offensive rebound, sent out to Brandon. Brandon into the lane, deflected by Johnson, and now Alt out on the run, gonna be fouled by Brandon. Alt with it on the court, trying to get it to Reed. Now Reed on the court, gets it to Shia Johnson. Now Layla Johnson with it for Jacksonville. Good defense from Mount Pleasant as Bolton gets the steal.
Everybody fell down on that one.
Now Brannon open and good.
Mid-range jumper goes in.
Caroline Alt brings it past half court for Jacksonville. This one sent ahead. Brannon jump stop, doesn't fall, and Alt brings it ahead.
Last second shot does not go in.
At the end of 3, Jacksonville 20 and Mount Pleasant 46. I do want to point out that since you said Jacksonville is making a comeback, the lead has stretched out from 15 to 26 at that point.
I think I'm just going to keep my mouth shut for the entirety of the fourth quarter.
Just wanted to point out.
Yeah.
No accusations being made, nothing like that. Just an interesting.
Yeah, I won't talk. I won't talk for the rest of the night.
I certainly don't want that. But,
I'll talk. I'm not going to make any predictions, anything like that.
Set to start the fourth, and Jacksonville will start with possession. Layla Johnson set to inbound for the Maidens, and Caroline Alt set to bring it ahead. Reed trying to get it to Tashia Johnson.
Pass just a little too high.
Excellent catch over at
The ESPN.
the ESPN student section desk.
For those of you who don't know, they're gonna. I don't know what I was trying to say. Just a reminder, they made a sign from Mount Pleasant, which will be talked about later, because I don't feel it is appropriate to say it right now.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Under certain circumstances.
Not that it was inappropriate language or anything on the sign.
Yeah.
It was more just talking trash about Mount Pleasant.
And with current circumstances, we're not
Right,
going
with the score as it is, you're saying it might not be
Yeah.
the time to talk about the signage in the student section. Got it?
The student section very quiet right now.
It is. Reed with it for Jacksonville. A lot of contact, gets it to Alt. Alt open for two, off iron. And then Reed, a lot of effort, deflects it out of bounds. 6:52 remaining here in regulation. Jacksonville 22 and Mount Pleasant 46. KK Brandon checking out for Mount Pleasant. This shot up and no good for Jalen Gutierrez, and now Alt with it for Jacksonville. That ball goes out of bounds off of Melanie Morales.
Great effort from Layla Johnson, just not able to put it back in.
Mount Pleasant moving the ball around.
Personal foul off of the Lady Tigers will be maiden ball. Caroline Alt carrying the ball up the court, trying to get some points. I don't know. Almost caught myself saying something. Layla Johnson puts up the bucket, and it is good. Lady Tiger moving around, and that'll be a personal foul. We'll have 2 shots from Melanie Morales.
That was number 24 to Shia Johnson. Her third personal. Over team number 2. Melanie Morales, 22.
First shot is good. Second shot is up and no good. She gets her own rebound. Brings it back up to the top, trying to run something. Pass it to the corner, wide open for 3. And it is no good. Offensive rebound. Puts it up and it is good. Takes the Lady Tiger lead from 49 to 24.
5 minutes remaining here in the 4th. Jacksonville with the ball. Alt with it. Now sends it to Layla Johnson, back to Alt. We're trying to read. Kiki Rogers, 3 is up, no good.
Drives in, puts up a shot, and it is good.
Jalen Gutierrez.
Puts up a shot. Just off the rim. Personal foul from the Lady Tigers. Layla Johnson will go up to the free throw line for 2.
Layla Johnson first up, no good.
Second is no good. Puts up the 3. Just off the rim. Gets their own rebound.
Shia Johnson collects it for Jacksonville and gets it to Layla Johnson.
A little too much on that 3. Goes over the rim. Mid-range shot is up and good for the Lady Tigers.
Shia Johnson to Layla Johnson to Reed. Open look for Alt for 3 is up and good.
Great passing there from the Maidens, being able to find the open girl and give her the ball and let her shoot it.
Lady Tigers moving the ball around. Good defense from Caroline Alt. Out of bounds, Mount Pleasant will keep possession. 2:36 remaining here in regulation.
You know, I wouldn't mind if the Lady Tigers don't score another point, because
that'd be pretty good.
Yeah,
it's your jersey number.
That's why. I like that number a lot. You know, takes me back to old times.
Old times. Miracle Goodwin with the rebound and then deflected out of bounds by Mount Pleasant. So Jacksonville set to inbound. Kiki Rogers sends it to Caroline Alt. Alt to a Miracle Goodwin. Now Layla Johnson Shot is up, no good. Rebound, Mount Pleasant. Jalen Jackson with it for the Lady Tigers.
2 minutes remaining in the ball game.
Jackson guarded by Layla Johnson. Now Melanie Morales with it.
It's a little too much on the layup there. Goes out.
Reed can't finish the open look. And then fouls Jalen Gutierrez.
That was number 2, China Reed. Her 4th personal. Fourth goal by number 3.
Three is up from Gutierrez, no good. Jacksonville set to inbound. Deja Tilly bringing it ahead for the Maidens, gets past half court. Tries to get it to Layla Johnson. And
cannot connect.
Layla's going to be hit with the foul call against Jalen Jackson. That's Layla's 5th personal foul. So she'll have a seat. Shia Johnson onto the court for Jacksonville. 1:02 remaining here in the game. Mount Pleasant with the ball. Melanie Morales with it for the Lady Tigers, guarded by China Reed.
Tries to go in and put it in a layup. Does not connect. Sorry, does not go in.
Carly Rogers inbounding for the Lady Tigers, calling for it and gets it and can't quite get it to fall.
For a second, it looked like it was going to just stay on the backboard.
Yeah, stay on the back of the rim.
Yeah, not the backboard, the rim, sorry. For a second, I thought we were going to, like.
That's definitely a bingo.
Is it? I don't think we put that on the list.
Well, we probably shouldn't. That's
very, very rare.
Extremely rare.
Only Draymond Green can do that.
Morales with it for Mount Pleasant. Out and on the run. Stolen by a Miracle Goodwin. A Miracle trying to get it to Tilly, but back to Mount Pleasant.
Looks like Mount Pleasant is trying to bring the score up.
Carly Rogers no good on the three. 4.8 remaining here in the game. Jacksonville inbounding, final seconds of the game. Tilly with it. And that will do it. Your final is 53-27. As your Jacksonville Fighting Maidens fall to the Mount Pleasant Lady Tigers. And Jacksonville played well through a quarter and a half, but really since the halfway point of that second period, Mount Pleasant just really found their way offensively. Jacksonville had really bothered them on the defensive end of the court through 1.5 periods, but Mount Pleasant really turned it on and really kind of opened it up there in that second half to end with a 53-27 final score. We are now in warm-ups for your Jacksonville Fighting Indians as they are set to take on the Mount Pleasant Tigers. Thank you for being with us on JISD Live. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with you with a few minutes to go here in pregame. Appreciate all your help.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Senior Night here at John Alexander Gym. Tonight we would like to recognize our lone maiden senior for 2025-26. Our lone maiden senior is a miracle Goodwin. A miracle is being escorted by her mom, Chastity, her older brother, Tina, her little sister, Henry, her brother, Josiah, and her uncle, Daryl. A miracle has competed in basketball here in Jacksonville since 7th grade. She also competed in track as a freshman and played softball last season. Some of her activities here at Jacksonville include being an FCCLA in the last 3 years, student council for 1 year, and Key Club for 1 year. She's also been in the art club for the past 3 seasons. Her plans for the future include more in the Army after high school. Her favorite memory is time spent on the bus after the game with her teammates. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Miracle Goodwin. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to John Alexander Pregame Tour from the Lions Big Men's and Women's Basketball doubleheader. Game 2 this evening features the Mount Pleasant Tigers and your Jacksonville Fighting Indians. At this time, the three-track starters first is the Tigers of Mount Pleasant. Starting at forward, a 6'4" senior number 23, Amanda Harris. Starting at guard, a 6'1" senior number 5, Alex Guerrero. Starting at guard, a 5'11" junior number 11, Zeke Hill. Starting at guard, a 6' senior number 3, Ashad Smith. And starting at guard, a 6'2" senior number 24, Carter Chisholm. The Tigers are coached by Mr. Joey Chisholm. He's assisted by Jay Turnipseed, James Moore, DJ Messenger, and Ira Franklin. And now, get on your feet to be your Fighting Indians of Jacksonville. Starting at guard at 5'9", freshman number 0, Asher Bolton. Starting at guard at 5'9", junior number 2, Jordan McGowan. Starting at guard, 5'9", senior number 5, Dylan Sally. Starting at guard, a 6'2", junior number 10, Ben Bolton. And starting at forward, a 6'2", junior number 13, Malik Massenberg. Your Fighting Indians are coached by Mr. Tony Schmidt. He's assisted by Jabari Lewis and Charles Kimball. Your officials from the right side are Mr. Chris Taylor, Stephen Williams, and Carl Tapley. All right, Indians, get on your feet. It's time!
And we are just about set for tip here at John Alexander Gymnasium. Ben Bolton set to tip it up against Emmanuel Harris. And Mount Pleasant wins the tip. They'll bring it ahead. Tigers with it in the corner. Sally on defense for Jacksonville. This pass back out to Alex Guerrero. Now in the corner, Guerrero. Ball moving around. This three up, no good. And then rebound Asher Bolton. Bolton with it for Jacksonville. Bolton left side, runs into traffic. Now McGowan with it. Ben Bolton pulls up, off iron, no good. Rebound Mount Pleasant. This shot up, no good. Offensive rebound for the Tigers. And that's Emmanuel Harris. He's going to be fouled. Ben Bolton called for his first personal foul. First is up, no good for Emmanuel Harris. Second is up and good. So Emmanuel Harris on the board for the Tigers. Asher Bolton gets it to Ben Bolton. Ben over to Sally. Sally, three is up, off iron, no good. Rebound, McGowan. McGowan to Asher Bolton. Asher into the lane. Floater is up, no good. And the Tigers bring it ahead. Carter Chisholm into the lane. A lot of traffic, but called for a travel. Asher Bolton brings it ahead for Jacksonville. Ben Bolton with it. Guarded by Carter Chisholm. Now McGowan back to Ben Bolton. Into the corner, Sally. Sally picks up his dribble, gets it to Asher Bolton. McGowan into the lane, lays it up, no good. Top offensive rebound, tip rebound for Dylan Sally. And now another offensive rebound. Great effort from Jordan McGowan and from Malik Massenberg. Jacksonville, first field goal of the game, 2-1 lead for the Indians. Three is up, no good. Rebound, McGowan, and a foul. That's going to go against Emmanuel Harris. That's his first personal. Asher Bolton with it for Jacksonville. Now Malik Massenberg into the lane, gets it to Sally, loses the handle, and Mount Pleasant the other way. Chisholm into the lane. Good defense from Ben Bolton, tough shot. Rebound, Asher Bolton. Sends it ahead to Ben, but great break on the ball from Ashad Smith. He gets all the way to the bucket, can't lay it in. Second chance points, 2 offensive rebounds in a row. 3-2 is your score. Ben Bolton with it for Jacksonville. Now Malik to Dylan Sally in the corner. Great offensive rebound from Ben Bolton. Gets it back to Sally. Bolton going to be called for the offensive foul. And now the Tigers bring it ahead. Long three is up, no good. Rebound to Asher Bolton. Asher sends it ahead. Jace Meza in the game for Jacksonville. Back to Asher. And Asher going to be called for the travel. Zeke Hargrave inbounding for the Tigers, and Carter Chisholm bringing it ahead. Now back to Hargrave. Great defense from Malik Massenberg underneath the basket, but TV Newsom able to lay it in. McGowan in the lane, gonna be fouled. McGowan shooting 2 for Jacksonville. Chisholm with it for the Tigers now. Harris to Hargrave. Hargrave into the corner. Guerrero. Wild play, ends up in a turnover. McGowan brings it ahead for Jacksonville. Now gets it to Meza for 3 up off iron, no good. Rebound Hargrave. Hargrave out ahead, guarded by Sally. Now Guerrero gets it to Newsom. This pass out of bounds. Jacksonville ball. Jacksonville set to inbound. Keanu Jackson checking in for Asher Bolton. Jackson inbounding to Jace Meza. Back to Jackson. Jackson will bring it ahead past half court. McGowan back to Jackson. Jackson to Meza. Meza into the lane. Pulls up off back iron and then out of bounds. Jacksonville ball. It's going to go out of bounds off of Keevy Newsom. Jackson inbounding for Jacksonville. Gets it to Sally. Malik from the free throw line, no good. Rebound, Mount Pleasant. And the Tigers bring it ahead. Hargrave into the lane. Now kicks it back out to Nemo Savage. Chisholm, no good. And then out of bounds. Mount Pleasant will retain possession. Both Jace Meza and Dylan Sally going for the ball. And it ended up out of bounds. So Carter Chisholm set to inbound for the Tigers. Sends it back to Hargrave. Pulls up from 3 and good. Zeke Hargrave. That makes it an 8-3 score. Under a minute remaining here in the first. This pass stolen. Emmanuel Harris. Good defense from Keanu Jackson, but that I believe that was Chisholm that got that put back. Now Meza, 3 is up, no good. Sally gets the ball, puts it back up and gets fouled.
That was on the 23, Emmanuel Harris. This is the personal. First quarter team on number 3. Dylan Sally, shooting 2.
technical foul call against Keevy Newsom. Sally no good on the technical free throw. Second is up, no good. Actually, those were the 2 shooting foul free throws. I believe we're having Malik Massenberg shoot the technical free throw. First is up and good for Malik. Second is up and good for Malik. We got a call that Malik's foot was on the line, maybe? I think that should take that last free throw off the board. Jackson into the lane, rises up. Offensive foul. Malik with the rebound, sends it ahead for Duel. Duel, long 3, final seconds, no good. At the end of 1, Jacksonville 4 and Mount Pleasant 10. Jacksonville definitely going to need to find some offense. Just 4 points in that opening period to Mount Pleasant's 10. Malik with 3 points for Jacksonville and McGowan with the other. And then for Mount Pleasant, Keevy Newsom, Ashad Smith, Zeke Hargrave, Carter Chisholm, and Emmanuel Harris. 3 for Zeke Hargrave, 2 for Keevy Newsom, 2 for Ashad Smith, 2 for Carter Chisholm, and 1 for Emmanuel Harris. Set to start the second period. And Ben Bolton set to inbound for Jacksonville.
Indian basketball in quarter number 2.
8 minutes on the clock for this second period. Ben Bolton inbounding. Keanu Jackson set to bring it ahead. Going to be picked up by Zeke Hargrave. Now Jackson into the corner. Gets it to Malik. Malik to Abdul. Abdul back to Jackson. Jacksonville moving the ball around. Malik into the lane. Fouled. Ben Bolton to Malik. Malik, that 3 is up and good. That makes this a 3-point game. Huge shot there from Malik. Now Mount Pleasant moving the ball around, trying to answer. Jaden Jackson gets the call. Malik Massenberg hit with the foul call. That's going to be his first personal. And Jaden Jackson will shoot 2 shots. First is up, no good. Second is up and good for Jaden Jackson. Keanu Jackson brings it ahead for Jacksonville. Leak over to Jace Meza. Jace blocked by Nemo Savage. Now Chisholm into the corner, Hargrave. Hargrave all the way, reverse layup is good for Zeke Hargrave. Savage gets the steal and the timeout. Great defensive play there from Nemo Savage. And at the timeout, 6:37 remaining here in the second. Jacksonville 7 and Mount Pleasant 13. Mount Pleasant set to inbound Zeke Hill. I just had a roster update, a roster correction. Zeke Hill inbounds it to Carter Chisholm, back to Hill. Carter Chisholm. Three is up, no good for Jaden Jackson, and now Keanu Jackson out on the run for Jacksonville. Malik Massenberg, three is up, no good. Rebound, Abdul Bates. Jace Meza hits the shot for Jacksonville. 13-9 is your score, 5:57 remaining. Nemo Savage sends it to Hill. Hill into the corner. Now Carter Chisholm with it for Mount Pleasant. Hill into Savage. Offensive foul called against Nemo Savage. That's his second personal foul. Ben Bolton set to inbound, gets it to Keanu Jackson. (13-9), 5.5 minutes remaining here in the second. Keanu Jackson gets it to Ben Bolton. Ben into the lane, spins, stripped, turnover. Guerrero gets it ahead to Hill. Hill can't finish at the bucket, gets it back, and then Duel just takes it from him. What a defensive play from Abdul Bates. Keanu Jackson with it in the corner, pulls up from three off iron, no good. Rebound, Mount Pleasant. Chisholm brings it ahead, behind the back dribble. Now has it at the three-point line, and Abdul playing great defense for Jacksonville. Travel called. Abdul, great defense on back-to-back possessions. And Jacksonville brings it ahead. Keanu Jackson with it for Jacksonville. Sends it to Ben Bolton, but stolen by Chisholm. Chisholm now with it into the lane. Puts it up, no good. Jump ball, more great defense from Jacksonville as Jaden Jackson got the offensive rebound, but then got tied up. Mount Pleasant will keep possession, but great defense from Jacksonville. Hill set to inbound for the Tigers. Sends it back deep for Carter Chisholm. Into the lane. And Carter Chisholm able to finish at the basket and an and one opportunity. Isaiah Gomez's first foul. And Carter Chisholm at the line for Mount Pleasant. Chisholm good on the and one opportunity. 16-9 is your score. 4.5 remaining here in the second. Keanu Jackson with it for Jacksonville. Gets it to Ben Bolton. Bolton back to Keanu Jackson. Jackson to Sally. Sally for three, no good. And then Zeke Hill trying to rebound it for Mount Pleasant, out of bounds, so Jacksonville set to inbound. Keanu Jackson going to inbound for the Indians. Jackson gets it to Green. Green puts up a three off iron, no good. Rebound Hill. Mount Pleasant with the ball, sends it ahead. Chisholm guarded by Bates. Chisholm into the lane. Guerrero for three, up, no good. And Keanu Jackson brings it the other way for Jacksonville. Gets it to Abdul Bates. Abdul reverse layup, no good. Green put back attempt, no good. And then McGowan. Foul going to go against Ashad Smith. That's Ashad Smith's first personal foul. Third team foul for Mount Pleasant. Ben Bolton with it, into the lane, rises up and puts it in. Strong move from Ben Bolton to get through traffic and lay it in. 16-11. Chisholm, good pass from Chisholm. And then Ashad Smith going to be fouled. I think that'll go against Abdul Bates. And that's going to send Ashad Smith to the line. Smith gets the inbound. Now Hill trying to keep it inbound. Toe tap catch. This three up and no good. Malik with the rebound and gets fouled. That three attempt was from Ashad Smith. Alex Guerrero hit with his first personal foul, but fourth team foul with 3 minutes remaining here in the second for Mount Pleasant. Ben Bolton cuts to the basket. Good cut and good pass. Ben going to be fouled by Jaden Jackson, and that should put Jacksonville in the bonus with 3:01 remaining here in the second. Down by 5.
That was on number 12, James Jackson, his first personal, second quarter team on number 5. Ben Bolton shooting 2.
Ben's first is up and good. Second is up and good for Ben Bolton. Hill brings it ahead. A 3-point game now, under 3 minutes remaining here in the second. And Zeke Hill gets it off to Guerrero. Guerrero now to Jackson, and it makes its way back to Chisholm. Chisholm guarded by Bates. Chisholm into the lane, and now Jackson for three, up, no good. A lot of contact. Out of bounds, Jacksonville ball. Keanu Jackson brings it ahead for Jacksonville. 2.5 minutes remaining here in the second. Jacksonville 13, Mount Pleasant 16. Malik trying to tie it up, can't get the three to fall. And then out of bounds, Ben Bolton trying to corral the rebound. Chisholm bringing it ahead for Mount Pleasant. He gets it to Guerrero. Guerrero into the lane. Now to Smith, back to Guerrero. Chisholm. Guerrero open in the corner. Three is up, off iron, no good. Now Smith for three is good. That makes it 19-13 with 1:40 remaining to play here in the second period. Keanu Jackson with it for Jacksonville. Now Malik Massenberg to Abdul Bates. Keanu Jackson pulls up from three, no good. Rebound, Ben Bolton. Put back attempt, no good for Ben Bolton, and Hill sends it ahead to Chisholm. Chisholm pulls up deep three for Chisholm, no good. Alex Guerrero, offensive rebound and put back. (21-13), under a minute to play here in the second. Jacksonville down 8 against the Tigers. .9 seconds remaining here in the second period. Jacksonville down 8 with the ball. Keanu Jackson brings it ahead for the Indians. Going to be picked up by Zeke Hill. Jackson to McGowan. Ben Bolton with it, guarded by Savage. Then in the corner, a lot of contact on that shot attempt, no call. And Chisholm now brings it ahead, 25 seconds on the clock here in the second period. Mount Pleasant 21, Jacksonville 13. And Carter Chisholm with it for the Tigers as we approach 10 seconds remaining here in the second. Guerrero with it into the lane, gets it off to Savage. Savage puts it up, no good. And at the end of one half, your score is Jacksonville 13 and Mount Pleasant 21. So Jacksonville better offensively there in the second period, as they had just 4 after 1. Found 9 more points there in that second period. But as it stands, after one half of play, Jacksonville is down 8, as your score is Jacksonville 13 and Mount Pleasant 21. A fast first half of action here. And we'll see what adjustments Jacksonville makes to overcome this 8-point halftime deficit. I'm going to step away, and I'll be back to bring you the second half of action here on JISD Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again for your halftime performance, please welcome to the floor Brittany's Elite All-Stars Junior Hip Hop. This routine is choreographed by Miss Abby Mayo. Let's give a big round of applause for Brittany's Elite All-Stars Junior Hip Hop. Let's start over, ladies.
Hey, let's start over. The lady, come here. The lady, come here.
All right, I am here with Jacob Mondragon and Harrison Penn of the student section, who again this week have the ESPN desk. And these two have joined us up here at the actual broadcast desk. So you're not going to see them down there, but we are going to give you a shot of the student section. It's been another great week, gentlemen, for the student section. What are your thoughts through the first half?
I think our defense is playing great. Great defense. The refs have made some questionable calls, but they've made some very favorable calls as well.
What about you, Mondragon? What do you think, bud?
Well, there's been some outstanding defense out here tonight, but we just got to get things to click on offense. And yes, the refs are making some questionable calls.
So we are getting our second presentation of halftime here. Don't they know that we need time to talk about the student section?
Wait. I think this is going to be a half-court shot.
Oh, it may be a half-court shot.
Oh, never mind.
It's your Jacksonville Middle School basketball teams being recognized here at halftime. All right. Speaking as the parent of a Jacksonville Middle School basketball player, let's get back to the important stuff. So that ESPN broadcast desk over there, how has there is a new thing that you're doing tonight. Talk us through what the stop signs and the X's on the wall mean.
Okay, so the stop signs are every time we get a stop on defense, we'll slap one of those J's on there. If we can get 3 stops in a row, we'll throw an X up. So we have 3 X's right now, so that's 9 stops in a row so far. That is great defense, right, Jacob?
I mean, yeah, the defense is doing incredible. And we were in the library today when Coach Mick was putting this together.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, so another fun addition here this week.
We also have names of every single player on their team.
Names of every single player on the opposing team.
They're smiling a lot.
Addition. And any other thoughts before we get back to the second half of action as we are in the closing seconds of halftime, gentlemen?
I just got to say, let's go, Jay. Let's play some basketball.
I'm going to go give the rest some snacks.
All right, great job, guys. Thank you for joining us up here in the booth. And we're just about set to start the second half of action here. And now I am joined by Ryan Travis, class of 2014.
Hello.
Fresh off of a Fightin' Maiden victory in the historic Tomato Bowl against the Mount Pleasant Lady Tigers in girls varsity soccer by the score of 4-0. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yep. Another dominant performance tonight from the Maidens.
Yeah, I have several maidens in class, and I asked Sophia Romero how the Texas High game went the other day after that game, and she very, very disappointedly told me the score 5-1, and she was disappointed enough that I thought, man, maybe they lost. And no, we gave up a goal, and that broke a streak, and she was very upset about it. So
yeah, they've only allowed 3 goals so far this season. 2 of those came against Longview in a loss right before district started. So that was the first goal of district that the Maidens have allowed.
Glad to see that they've started a new streak.
Zeke Hill good on both of those from the line. Extends us out to a 10-point lead. Looked to be a pretty low-scoring first half. Got to see Tarek on my way in tonight, and he was like, man, it's a pretty low-scoring first half. Just
Yeah, Jacksonville
neither team really capitalizing.
Yeah, Jacksonville with 4 points in the opening period, and they did, get up to 13 by halftime. But definitely, offense for both teams really been really tough to come by, and part of that, of course, is both teams playing good defense, and it's been a physical game as well, and not a lot of calls. So, and man, this is coming on the heels of the Maidens game, which was maybe the most physical basketball game I've ever seen in person. And they called some fouls, but not a lot. So,
wow,
definitely letting them play here tonight.
Yeah, I had that game on while we were doing soccer tonight. I didn't really get to watch a whole lot of it, but that's surprising to hear as we have a 3 from Carter Chisholm.
Keanu Jackson with it for Jacksonville. Gets it to Ben Bolton. Ben, deep 3 is up, off iron, no good. Rebound, Chisholm. Chisholm, quick pass out ahead to Alex Guerrero, who lays it in. Yeah, Mount Pleasant quickly stretches this out to a 15-point lead. It was 21-13 at half. 7-0 run to start, 28-13 is your score here in the third period.
Yeah, and you've seen these strategic timeouts called by Coach Schmidt where he's able to kind of regroup the boys. He does a really good job of that because usually out of these timeouts you'll see a completely different team than what you've seen for the first, I don't know, how far are we into this second half, like 30 seconds?
Yeah,
not very far.
Not very far is the answer. 6:40 on the clock, so just over a minute 20 here.
And so, a lot of times he'll call these timeouts and you'll see the boys come out after the timeout and they'll either close a gap or if they've, gotten behind early like they have here in the second half, a lot of times you'll see them, step it up on defense as well and really do a good job of closing that gap that they may have gotten themselves into. As Dylan Sally just cannot quite get that ball to Malik.
Yeah, Ashad Smith's bringing it up, but he's definitely favoring maybe his left ankle. Definitely looks a little bit affected. We'll see how that plays out. Alex Guerrero with it for the Tigers. It makes its way back to Ashad Smith. Now Chisholm with it in the corner. Guerrero 3 is up, off iron, no good. Rebound, Massenberg. Malik out and on the run for Jacksonville. Gets it to Sally. Sally into the lane, now Malik. Jacksonville resetting. Keanu Jackson guarded by Guerrero. Jackson pulls up from 3 and good. What a good move to get separation. And then a big shot for Keanu Jackson.
Yeah, that was huge for the Indians here in the second half to get on the board, find some points, and a big 3 there from Keanu. His good answer to this 7-point lead or 7-point run that Mount Pleasant had to start the second half. And I think, one thing, I didn't get to watch a whole lot of the first half. I was listening to you talk about it, but the pace of this game for Mount Pleasant is it's like tortoise in the hare.
Yeah.
They are the tortoise, and Jacksonville, when they are in possession, quickly trying to push the ball down the floor and close this lead. But Mount Pleasant,
yeah, certainly here in this
second
half, this has definitely been an adjustment. They haven't been this slow as far as their pace through the first half, but definitely something that the Mount Pleasant coaching staff is seen.
Another great reason to have a shot clock in high school basketball. Can we start a petition for that?
Yeah, that would be pretty nice. These last few possessions, they have really just, that last possession, they stood back here almost at half court and just passed it back and forth. That 3 up and good for Chisholm.
Carter Chisholm made that one look easy. That was well behind the 3-point line.
I think that puts him at 11 points. Is that correct?
It is, yes.
Keanu Jackson gets it to Sally. Sally able to corral it, and now Massenberg to Bolton. Then to Jackson. Jackson for another three, up, no good. And Zeke Hill sends it to Chisholm, back to Hill. Hill guarded by McGowan. Good defense from Sally, gets the steal, gets it ahead to Massenberg. Massenberg stepped through, lays it up, and lays it in.
Yeah, great move there from Malik, and a really good steal from Dylan. And then quickly able to find Malik down the floor, and once again, tortoise in the hair, man.
Yeah, Jacksonville definitely willing to run every time they get the ball.
And I kind of think this pace that Mount Pleasant is playing at is kind of throwing Jacksonville a little off their rhythm.
It's hard to get into a rhythm, you know, when one half of the court is just so slow. Ashad Smith with that last bucket for Mount Pleasant. What a move from Keanu Jackson. Chisholm brings it ahead for the Tigers.
Which, I mean, if you're the Tigers, how can you blame them? They have milked a good portion of the clock off of this third quarter, and they still have a 13-point lead.
Good looking entry pass and catch from Emmanuel Harris, who's able to pay it off. 35-20 is your score. 2 minutes remaining here in the third. Keanu Jackson continues.
Yeah, that was a fantastic look there from Keanu. He got down here to about the three-point line, and everyone from Mount Pleasant had shifted over to the left. And he looked up, realized, oh, there's a huge opening right here, drives in, lays that one in off the glass. Pretty easy basket there for Keanu.
Yeah, and then Jordan McGowan able to get the steal, but steps out of bounds in the process. So Chisholm brings it ahead for Mount Pleasant. Sends it out to Hill. Hill guarded by Ben Bolton. Now Guerrero, three is up, no good. Rebound, Ben Bolton. And he is out on the run. Sends it to Malik, but just a little bit too hot off the hands. Turnover, and Mount Pleasant set to bring it ahead. 1:18 remaining here in the third. 35-22. Mount Pleasant out in front of Jacksonville.
And there was a lot of contact on Ben as he was bringing that ball down the floor just then, too.
It was Emmanuel Harris running with him and a little bit behind. And contact kind of all the way down the court. Chisholm guarded by Massenberg. Good defense from Malik on this possession. Now Chisholm into the lane. And Meza looked like he got a clean block or a clean deflection, but called for the foul. So Carter Chisholm will head to the line for the Tigers.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate on that one from Jace. Looked like a pretty clean defensive effort from him. Just, I don't know. Referee's a whole lot closer than we are. He saw something there that was worth calling a foul over.
We do have some of our student section. I'm going to go just a little bit wider here. If you take a look on the left side of your screen, we've got Jacob Mondragon. He's just sweeping up over there. You know, definitely not trying to distract the free throw shooter at all. He's being a good Samaritan. He's doing some custodial work. He saw a mess on the floor and decided to take a broom over there and sweep it up. Oh, and look, he's found something on a sign. He's cleaning that up. Really just going the extra mile here at John Alexander Gymnasium.
He's
trying
now
to
sweeping the wall.
Just trying to keep the facilities clean, not at all trying to distract the free throw shooter. I'm sure unrelated, but that first free throw up no good.
I don't know. He was probably questioning, why is this weird guy sweeping the wall?
It's possible. He may have been thinking, you know, what a great guy going the extra mile over there.
I'm sure that's what he's thinking standing at the free throw line.
It might have gone through his mind. You
He's
never
doing
know.
such a great job over there.
Chisholm at the line for his second. Mondragon at the wall, still sweeping. Second is up, no good. And Jacksonville bringing it ahead. Excellent work by Jacob Mondragon on those free throws by Carter Chisholm. Keanu Jackson into the lane, tries to get it to Duel, just can't quite connect on the pass. 43 seconds remaining here in the third. Chisholm with it for Mount Pleasant. Jacksonville 22 and Mount Pleasant 35.
Yeah, and the way Mount Pleasant is playing, Jacksonville's going to have a little bit of a different game plan in the fourth quarter. They got a pretty good margin to make up. This is a very low-scoring game. I mean, you're talking about needing to make up over half the points that you've scored so far in the game.
Yeah, Jacksonville just, you mentioned it earlier, just really having difficulty getting into a rhythm with this pace of play. Hill, no good on the shot. Jacksonville will have 1.7 on the clock here in the third, down 13.
And I don't know how, in foul trouble that the guys are at the moment, but the way that they've been shooting free throws, I mean, you could almost foul and send them to the line if you have to. It's a bit short there on the shot attempt from Chase Meza.
You've got a second on the clock and you got to step through some defense. You're just trying to get anything that direction, I think. And he did get something that direction.
He definitely did. Yep.
He definitely did. And here we are starting the final period of play here at John Alexander Gymnasium. Jacksonville 22 and Mount Pleasant 35. Jacksonville definitely going to need to find out how to score and score quickly here in this final period.
Yeah, and this is a very important game for Jacksonville. I mean, they've lost some games they really probably shouldn't have. Trying to find that fourth spot in district so they can squeak into playoffs, and right now this is really a must-win game. This game is a must-win. Marshall on Friday is a must-win, and even then you still need some things to go in your favor. But I mean, you got to start by taking care of business here in the fourth quarter. You're down 13, got to play some good defense, but you really have got to find some points.
Yeah, this will definitely be an important sequence these final 8 minutes. Mount Pleasant to start this period with the ball. Chisholm with it now over to Jackson. Jackson hands it off to Savage. Savage underneath the basket and is going to be fouled. So Nemo Savage will head to the free throw line. Oh, and now Mondragon has handed the broom off to Best, trying to distract Nemo Savage. Didn't work on that first one. Maybe they need to give it back to Mondragon as Best doing his best and effective on the second one. Now Keanu Jackson into the lane, steps through, a lot of contact, good defense from Emmanuel Harris. 36-22, 7.5 remaining here in the fourth. Chisholm with it, gets it off to Jackson. Jackson three is up, off, back iron, no good. Keanu Jackson with the rebound for Jacksonville. Asher Bolton now into the game and fouled. That's Carter Chisholm's first personal and first team foul. If you're Jacksonville, if you could get into the bonus, that would be potentially big, trying to claw your way back into this offensively. Asher Bolton sends it to Malik.
Yeah, definitely important here for Jacksonville to try to get hot from three as well. You got a pretty big deficit you need to make up. You've got some guys that can get hot from three. Ben, Malik, Keanu.
Speaking of which, this three is up and good for Keanu Jackson. Way to speak it into existence, Ryan Travis.
Man, I'm just trying to do my part. Just trying to do my part tonight, Lee.
Well, that makes it an 11-point game with 6.5 minutes remaining here in regulation. Malik, some good defense on Chisholm. Chisholm into the lane. Now Savage. Travel.
Good look for Jacksonville. Get the turnover on the travel. That also gets Keanu into the double digits with 10 points. He's leading scorer so far tonight for the Indians.
Asher Bolton with it for Jacksonville. Going to get it to Keanu Jackson. Malik up, no good. Rebound Harris. Now Rashad Smith brings it ahead before sending it to Chisholm. Good defense from Keanu Jackson. Ben Bolton sends it ahead for Jackson, gets fouled, puts it up, and he'll head to the line. First is up and good for Keanu Jackson. Asher Bolton checks out and Jordan McGowan checks in for Jacksonville. 5:41 remaining. Keanu Jackson second at the line, bounces out. So that makes your score 36-26 with 5.5 remaining here in the final period. Jacksonville down 10.
Yeah, and I like this change here, switching to a full court press. Force Mount Pleasant to push the ball down the floor with a little more pace than they have. Gonna have a foul here go against Abdul Bates.
That's Abdul's fourth personal. And now we have Best with some interesting wardrobe decisions. He's got a tie on his head. But it's effective. It is effective. Second is up and in for Smith. Jacksonville down 11. McGowan with it. travel call. Just kind of lost his footing and then tried to keep his pivot foot, but ended up sliding into a travel. Jacksonville again pressing as Ben Bolton. Pressure on Carter Chisholm. Now Smith gets it off to Chisholm. Chisholm into the lane. Off back iron. Harris blocked by Bates.
Yeah, that's very dangerous on that one from Abdul Bates. He's already on 4 fouls. It was clean, but you never know the way referees call things sometimes.
Ben Bolton called for the foul.
Like, I would argue that was less of a foul than Abdul going over the top just a second ago.
Well, the logbook will definitely call that a foul as Rashad Smith at the line for the Tigers. No good on the first. And good on the second.
Back-to-back trips from Rashad Smith. He's missed the first one, made the second one.
Nothing if not consistent. Malik back to Jackson. Jackson thought about a straight-on three, but then tries to get into the lane, loses it, and Zeke Hill step through, lays it in.
It's really important for Jacksonville over the next 4.5 minutes to find whoever is hot and get them the ball.
Keanu Jackson trying to get it to Malik. Now Ben Bolton with it. Deep three is up and good for Ben Bolton.
And if it's Ben, feed it to him.
4:21 remaining here in regulation. 40-29 is your score as Jacksonville down 11 with 4.5 remaining. Definitely going to need to make some stops and get some quick buckets to get back into this game.
And I mean, you're only down 11. It's certainly attainable for you to come back and get into this game, especially with the amount of time that they have on the clock. But I mean, like I said, got to find whoever's hot, feed them the ball as much as you can, get them some open looks, whatever that takes. You're down by 11. You have nothing to lose at this point. Your season is on the line.
Definitely need some defensive stops. Some three-pointers wouldn't be bad, like that last one. Smith inbounding for the Tigers, gets it to Chisholm, guarded by McGowan. Now Smith guarded by Bates. Chisholm almost lost it, but able to regain possession. And good defense from McGowan on this possession. 3:50 remaining here in the fourth.
And Mount Pleasant wasting a lot of time on this possession.
Yeah. And now calling a timeout.
37 timeout. Correction.
Full timeout called by Mount Pleasant. .342 remaining here in the fourth. Jacksonville 29 and Mount Pleasant 40.
3:42 left coming out of the timeout for Jacksonville. Just give yourself a chance here at the end of this game. Find a way. Only down by 11.
Mount Pleasant set to inbound.
There's highlights out there for basketball where someone was down, by like 15 or 20, and they have a minute left and somehow come back. So it is definitely doable for the Indians, but they are going to have to. You got a couple guys you don't want to foul out that you really need in the game, like an Abdul Bates, but you've got to find a way to get some steals like that.
From Malik. Now Ben Bolton the other way, pulls up from 3 and short. Three minutes remaining, 40-29. Chisholm with it for the Tigers.
Yeah, Ben didn't quite look committed to that three. He kind of looked over, like almost as he was going up to pull up for that shot.
Emmanuel Harris with the bucket for Mount Pleasant. Now Keanu Jackson pulls up, can't finish. And Abdul tries to save it, but toes on the line. 2:39 remaining here in the fourth. Jacksonville 29 and Mount Pleasant 42. Zeke Hill guarded by Jordan McGowan. Chisholm. Abdul Bates sends it ahead for Keanu Jackson. Misses the dunk. Massenberg gets it to Ben Bolton. Ben's pass deflected. And Chisholm bringing it the other way. Under 2 minutes here in the fourth.
Hey, Ram, blow your whistle one time. Let's see if it works. 30-second timeout. Mount Pleasant.
30-second timeout.
I think his whistle broke.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that Mount Pleasant is the one calling the timeouts right now. They're up by 13. They're doing a good job wasting clock. I guess the coach is not happy with something going on because, every time he calls a timeout, he just looks mad. But I don't know. The way that the guys are wasting the clock right now, I just kind of figured you'd try to close this one out. You got a minute 49 left. You're up by 13. Inbound goes to Chisholm, picked up by Jordan McGowan. McGowan playing some safe defense here against Chisholm. Trying not to foul. Chisholm going to drive in, puts up the shot. I think they're going to get Abdul Bates for the foul, and that will be his 5th personal foul, so he will be done for the night. Dylan Sally going to check into the game.
First one rattles around and falls for Chisholm.
Second one good as well. Gives Chisholm 13 points on the night and gives the Tigers a 15-point lead with a minute and a half. Malik able to find Jordan, drives in the lane, going to put this one up. Tipped by Alex Guerrero, and now Chisholm will bring the ball down the floor for the Tigers. Going to be picked up by Ben Bolton.
1 minute to play, 44-29.
Carter Chisholm able to finish at the basket. Now Keanu quickly down the floor the other way. This one off the glass, rolls off the rim. No good. 30 seconds left. Mount Pleasant puts up a shot, gets his own rebound. Emmanuel Harris able to find a basket.
Final seconds here, 48-29. And that's going to be your final. (48-29) is your final score. Jacksonville just never could get into a groove offensively here in this game.
No, just really struggled to shoot. Like even towards the end when you're really needing points, Keanu goes up, the dunk goes off the back of the rim and out, and that's just kind of how Jacksonville shot for most of the night. Just a really tough night for the Indians. And, you know, kudos to Mount Pleasant. They ate up so much clock in the second half.
Yeah, they just didn't really give Jacksonville an opportunity to get anything going on offense. And not all of it was how they played defensively. They just really held the ball on offense, burned a ton of clock, and I think that really threw Jacksonville off their game. You know, they just couldn't get out and run like they wanted to.
Well, and if you have a shooter who's trying to get hot, so say Keanu or Ben goes down, hits from three, and then it's a minute and a half before they get the ball back to shoot.
It's really hard to get into a rhythm.
Yeah,
so,
that makes it really tough.
Kudos to the Mount Pleasant Tigers. We certainly wish them well in the remainder of their season. And we'll have soccer this upcoming Friday from the historic Tomato Bowl.
Yep, boys taking on Marshall.
That's right. So we'll see you there on JISD Live. And thank you for joining us tonight, not only for our doubleheader of basketball action here from John Alexander Gymnasium, but also for Fighting Maiden Soccer in the historic Tomato Bowl that Ryan Travis was on the call for earlier tonight. So on behalf of Ryan Travis and all of the students in the student broadcast program at Jacksonville High School, I'm Lee Traylor. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on Friday.